Time now for Sid Sixero. This is where I get 60 seconds to talk about anything. Start the clock, please. Here's what's on my mind this morning. Hope. At certain points over the last 15 months, it's all we had. Not vaccines or leadership or people listening to science tables. No, didn't have any of that. And don't ever let the current feel-good vibes allow you to forget it either. But hope was always there. And throughout this entire ordeal, as a tax-paying resident of Ontario, there was one specific day I was really hoping for, and yesterday it happened. Sports Minister Lisa MacLeod, for the first time in my life, said something that made me happy. Sports is coming back to Ontario. Pro and elite amateur, to be precise, so soccer moms and dads, you're going to have to wait. But for 18 other leagues, which includes MLB, NBA, Major League Soccer, CFL, and the OHL, it's go time, as early as August, which means the Jays could be home in a couple of months. Do you see what I see off in the distance at the end of the tunnel we've been living in? It's light. This thing is coming to an end. Life's returning. Hopefully soon. Donnovan Bennett of Sportsnet joining us. A lot to talk about, DJ, with that announcement yesterday from Lisa MacLeod. Let's start with the CFL. They're coming back August 5th. They did not play last season. They really didn't have an option here, right? Like, they couldn't go another year with a shortened schedule. They need 14 games.
They do. I do want to say, though, I think that was optimistic, yet I think you managed to slam like 3, 4, 5 different people in that 60 seconds, which is remarkable by you. That's great work.
Appreciate it. It wasn't my intention, but I appreciate it, DJ. Thank
you. They had to come back. Listen, it's been 1 year and 9 months since the last time we saw a CFL game. We know the owners have all lost millions, and some of them are probably going to lose more money if they play. But in the long game, you can't be irrelevant in any market for that long, never mind this market. We'll see what the future of the league is if they expand or maybe collaborate with the XFL, but there would be no future for the league, short or long, if they were out of sight, out of mind for 2 full seasons. So they need 14 games, and specifically they need fans in stands. They're hoping to get 35% by August 5th. And I'm actually surprised that you were so celebratory already, because what Lisa MacLeod did not say yet was that 7 professional teams in Ontario are allowed to have fans in stands, and that's what's going to bring the Blue Jays home, not the ability to play, the ability to play in front of people. Those 7 teams have asked for 35% to start, 100% in phase 3, and I think that's the answer that we're all waiting for at this point.
Well, that and, will the federal government, because Ontario doesn't control whether or not American teams are allowed to fly in. The federal government, unless you're an NHL hockey team, apparently it's okay. But, let's remember how the Blue Jays had it planned last year. They had all their ducks in a row with Ontario, Toronto, the MLB union. American teams were going to fly up, and about 2 days beforehand, nope, you got to go down to Buffalo or wherever you want to go and figure it out for yourself. So hopefully for the Blue Jays and Raptors specifically, that got really kind of taken here. I was going to say another word over the last year. I hope they come back. By the way, in terms of Donnovan Bennett and the Canadian Football League, for those who don't know, DJ has a deep love and affection for Canadian football. He follows CFL regularly, and also he was a running back at the University of Western Ontario. By my count, the 28th best running back in the history of the program. So that's why Donnovan. I always go to Donnovan for my CFL stuff. So he was a little better than that, by the way, than 28th. I needle him a little bit. Do you think the Jays are going to be told no in October, Donnovan? That's the big one for me right now. Like, I do not see a world where you allow this to happen. The Jays have moved twice. The Jays start in Dunedin. They come up to Buffalo. I mean, they're in front of fans at Salem Field in Buffalo, which is nice, but I don't see a world, especially if the numbers kind of stay around where they are, I don't see a world where the federal government says no to the Blue Jays and American teams again.
Timing is everything, and you mentioned October, and the Blue Jays could be playing deep into October the way this team is set up. I don't think they're going to get a no in October, because you know who also is going to be asking in October? The Toronto Maple Leafs. And you know what the callers are going to be like on this very show? If for some reason the Toronto Maple Leafs are not allowed to play in Toronto, or not allowed to play in Toronto in front of fans. So I think the pressure, both political and otherwise, to give a yes to hockey teams is going to be so strong in this country that it's going to mean a yes for the Raptors. It's going to mean a yes for the Blue Jays. It's going to mean a yes for TFC and the other MLS soccer teams in our country. So I think the biggest domino is what happens with hockey in this country. We've already seen the government being willing to make allowances for the NHL a couple times that they weren't willing to do for other people. I think it's going to be a yes for everybody in October because it's going to be a yes for the Leafs.
Man, do I hope so. Donnovan Bennett from Sportsnet. Love you, man. Appreciate you. Have a good day.